In our previous video, we explained the new features of Blackguards 2 and how you can use them efficiently. Today, we will take a look at the rules system and show you how to pimp your stats. Similar to Part 1, Blackguards 2 is based on the Dark Eye rules system, but this time around in an optimized way, offering a better overview. This will help you to better understand how changes to your stats will affect your chances in battle. We also made some changes to add more tactical depth to the game and speed up combat. The perceived randomness of the first game has generally been thrown overboard, so two opponents who won't hit one another for what feels like hours are a thing of the past. Veterans will notice that the base value screen is gone. Strength, intelligence and all the other attributes were the basis for all skills in Blackguards 1 and had to be leveled up in order to improve the skills of your heroes. Now the attributes have been moved to the background and are leveled up automatically. They are still the basis for all the Dark Eye rule mechanics, but you don't have to worry about them anymore. Stats like attack, dodge or parry that you may remember from the first game have become irrelevant. Now there are mainly two stats that are of importance in direct combat: offense and defense. Every single skill and aspect relevant for attacks or defensive maneuvers directly influences one or both of these values. Basically, your offense and defense values are the sum of two other stats: the offense or defense base value of the weapon you have equipped at the moment and the amount of weapon talents points you have bought for this type of weapon. The different weapon types each have strengths and weaknesses in offense and defense. A two-handed sword, for example, is an attack weapon that isn't much good in defense. If you haven't spent any weapon talent points for a certain type of weapon, offense or defense will be around a value of 30. 30 means, in this case, a 30% hit chance or a 30% chance to defend yourself. To raise the chances, you have to buy points in the weapons talents by spending your adventure points. Only by this you will be able to reach the value of 100 in any weapons talent. These 100 weapon talents points are added directly to the offense and defense values. Using a slider, you can decide whether the points will be added to the offense or defense value. This distribution can be changed at any time in between battles later on. If one of the two values reaches 100 this way, your chance to hit or to defend will be at 100%. This way you will always be able to comprehend how changes on the character screen will affect your fortune in battle, instead of having to guess at what attack 15 or a skill level of 10 out of 20 is supposed to mean exactly. Your stats always show the offense and defense values for the gear that is equipped at the moment. So when leveling up a weapons talent, you should have the respective weapon type equipped to see how the changes will affect your stats. When reaching 50, 80 or 100 weapons talent points, you will also gain initiative, a damage bonus and higher chances for critical hits. Your offense and defense value are furthermore affected by other gear like armor and certain special abilities. And of course you can upgrade more than just your weapons talents. The tab Talents contains 8 more possible fields to spend your adventure points on. Talents like body control or willpower will grant you resistances in battle. Animal Law and Warcraft offers you more information on enemies. Traps enables you to set and deactivate traps. Other talents raise your speed in battle or your initiative, which means you will move to the front of the initiative bar. You may remember special maneuvers from the first game. These are especially powerful attacks like hammer blow or very precise ranged attacks. A targeted stab, for example, ignores the opponent's armor. An attack of opportunity is used by a unit when an enemy passes close by. If you want to upgrade your vitality or astral energy, you have to open the tab marked Special Abilities. There you can spend your points in the respective resource or increase its rates of regeneration. Other abilities will give you resistances or are, like shield fighting or dual wielding, the prerequisite for the use of certain gear. You are able to wield 2 weapons or use a shield without those abilities, but if you level them up, you gain further bonuses on offense and defense. Dodge now simply raises your defense value some more. The ability Weapons Master Melee will raise both your offense and your defense. And of course, magically skilled heroes, Cassia and Zobaran, can spend their points to learn more spells. The handling of magic is now a little bit simpler as well. You can no longer fumble your spells. Spells will always work and are therefore much more powerful this time. Your own spells, as well as those of your enemies. The resource Endurance is completely new. Like the special maneuvers are the equivalent to spells for non-magic characters, Endurance is the equivalent to astral energy. Every maneuver will now cost endurance that can be upgraded like vitality and astral energy under the tab Special Abilities. In Blackguards 1, your heroes could perform as many hammer blows and power blows as they wanted, but at often poor hit chances. Now these maneuvers will work much more often, but your units must possess enough endurance to perform them. Endurance is represented by a yellow bar beneath a unit's portrait. Now you are familiar with the basics, but what is the best way to level up your heroes? Okay, here are some simple hints. Don't try to build all-rounders, specialize your heroes. If you can't decide, choose one alternative route maximum. You should decide on which character will fill which role and use which weapons early on in the game. Don't max out more than 2 weapons talents, but rather invest your points in special maneuvers and special abilities. Warriors should raise their offense value and magic users should use their weapons for defense. If necessary, you can still change your decision by moving the slider. With spells, it's the same as with weapons talents. Don't try to go for too broad a repertoire. Better decide on one or just a few attack spells to quicker reach the powerful 4th tier. Cassia is basically an all-rounder. She can become a close-ranged or combat specialist or a magic user. It won't do any harm to upgrade her magical abilities, as the only other mage in the group will be Zurbaran for quite a long time, and it is possible that you will have to split the party. If you prefer a fighting Cassia, smashing enemies on the front lines, Zurbaran should learn some buffs. Move as the lightning, fastness of body or sense attack. Apart from that, Zurbaran is better off learning attacks than healing spells, since you can also use potions for healing. Ignifaxious is highly effective, but will quickly drain your astral energy. You should therefore buy and upgrade astral regeneration early on in the game, so your resources will last longer. Astral mastery reduces the cost of each spell. As soon as you get the basics of your attack spells figured out, turn your attention to spells with area of effect. Zurbaran should also learn to use his staff in a defensive way, or you spend his points on metal armor adaptation. He then will be able to use metal armor. Takata can be skilled as a ranged or spear fighter. The man from the jungle is very quick and therefore the ideal choice for all time critical tasks. You should also level up his traps talent. Norim, on the opposite, is quite slow but can take a good deal of damage. He is predestined for the role of tank or damage dealer according to whether you equip him with a shield or two-handed weapons. If you keep all that in mind, you are well prepared for battle. In the upcoming video, we will show you which are the best tactics on the battle maps and how important interactive elements are.